welcome back.
Morning.
Morning. Hello. So we're continuing with linear transformations. These are some sort of changes to our line graph. Yesterday we did that when we were graphing them. We graphed the first one and then we looked at the rule that they were giving us and we used that to move it around somehow and graph the second one. And we have all the same transformations from yesterday. We have multiply the output, multiply the input, add to the input, add to the output. And the notes from yesterday will serve you well today, so if you happen to have those, please feel free to pull those out now, as we're going to use them when we talk about describing things. But let's get into how we use the algebra to write a new function. So I have some function. This happens to be the parent function, f of x equals x. And the transformation is take 2 and multiply it to the output of the function. Okay, I can do that. Now this says f of x equals x. That means that everywhere I see an f of x, I can replace it with an x. And so my transformed function, which I'm going to name g of x, is 2 times whatever f of x was. F of x is x, and I'm done. It's really easy to overthink and make it more complicated than it is. Please don't. Let it be this simple. Let's do this other one so you can see it. This says f of x minus 4. So everywhere I see f of x, I'm going to replace it with the rule f of x. So my new function, which I'll call g of x because I can, I'm going to write it as f of x, which is x, and then minus 4. That's it, I'm done. It's that easy. All right, let's look at this one. This one looks slightly different because now I am replacing the inside. So I'm doing something to the input. My new function g of x is going to be, I'm going to write f of x, but instead of x, I'm going to put 3x. That's it, I'm done.
So you don't put like x, 2 or anything?
Nope. You're replacing. It's a substitution thing. Okay? Can you see how it would be the same for this thing? Yes, ma'am. It's going to be g of x equals x plus 5. Very nicely done. The only way this can get complicated is if I do something like this one. Okay, same idea. I'm messing with the input. That means everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put that. Okay? And so g of x, my transformed function, is going to be 2 times whatever f of x was. Oh, wait. I got confused.
Yes,
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, I confused. Yes, you're right.
it's x plus 5 and then minus 3.
Yes. See, it's really easy to try to make it more complicated than it is. I was trying to make it more complicated. It's this. Yes, you're right. I'm wrong. Now, I've got stuff I can do, right? And there's like distribution that can happen. I know how to multiply, I swear, when she gets back. And then I can do the subtraction thing. And there's nothing else to do, so there's my function. It's that easy, guys. Don't be like me and make it more complicated than it has to be. This section asks us to describe how the graph changed in complete sentences. So you've got some options. You can graph the two of them and then be really specific about what happened to intercept or what happened to slope or things. Or you can be really general and just use this thing, your notes from yesterday. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So if I look at this, it's affecting the input, and it is adding. So I'm going to look at my adding to the input notes, which is some sort of horizontal translation. All right, so down here is my controls. It says that if this is positive, then it's going to shift to the left. This is positive, so it's going to shift to the left. And so my complete sentence description says the graph shifts to the left. How many units? 5. Period. I started with a capital, I ended with a period. It's a complete sentence. It's not a fragment or a run-on or any of those wonderful English terms that I did not keep in here.
G of X is a translation that shifts to the left 5.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Yes. He gave some very precise language in case you didn't hear him. He said, could we also write that the translation G of X, or the transformation G of X is a translation of f of x 5 units to the left? Yes, he said the same thing. He just used a lot more words. And that's okay. We're not going to get mad at him for using all of the words. How's that feel, guys?
So easy, I'm not gonna.
All right, I've got 3 other examples. Do you want me to go over any of the other examples? That one. Okay,
Oh,
you-
the other corner. Oh,
All 3 of them.
this one?
The bottom left corner.
yeah.
The bottom left.
Yes, because it's negative 2x.
Because it's a negative 2x, and oh my god, what do we do? Okay, remember, make it simple, not complicated. It says f of x minus 4. This is f of x, and so my translation is f of x minus 4. My translation is g of x equals the thing that is f of x, then minus 4. It would not, because I'm not putting it into the x. So the difference between these two,
Oh, yes, yes.
yeah, is that this one I'm messing with the input, and this one I'm messing with the output. So in this one, the original function gets seen for what it is completely without any changes. On the other one, we kind of lose track of the entire function. Cool? All right, I've got just a little bit of cleanup to do on this one just to make it look beautiful and pretty and ready for homecoming. And then I got to describe what I'm doing so that way the stylist does my hair right. Again, we can be really general, which is how I described my hair when I went to prom. I went to my stylist and I said, I want the top part of it up and then I want all my curls to be seen. That's it, thank you. And then she did a thing and I loved it. And so that's what we're going to do, real general, and let them have fun. So this looks like this. Some sort of vertical translation, so you could write there's a vertical translation. Because this out here is a negative, shifts down, and then you state the number of units. That's it. That's 4, yeah, in this case 4 times. Yeah, in this case it's 4. Shifts down 4 units. That's it. Easy enough. Any other items that you want to see? The very first one. All right. This says 3 times f of x. This whole thing is f of x. And so my transform function g of x is 3 times the thing that I was given as f of x.
Oh, wait, no. Wait.
We're not putting it into the input.
Hello?
Yes?
Do you have Jackie Pisano?
Yes?
Please send her to the office for a moment.
Thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Thank you. Couldn't have explained it better. I rely on you guys so much to be able to explain to each other because I am old and you are not. And so you can speak teenage and sometimes I cannot speak teenage. That's okay. So you guys can translate for me.
Mister, I did this one.
But what if that teenage is a little like vulgar language?
I did.
Yes.
What do we-
Vulgar, like, what if teenage
If it's
involves
bad.
vulgar language?
Yeah.
Let me answer that question after this video.
Okay.
Okay. Because I'm still recording,
You're
so
gonna get demonetized.
we get right. Let's not. Feeling okay on this one?
Yes.
Alrighty. Do you want to see this last one, or are we good now?
We're cool beans.
We good. We cool beans. All right. You guys want to send me off and say
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube.